Welcome back to Good Day Son-in-Law. Tamera Tullos joins us now from Rapides Regional Medical Center with some summertime safety tips. Tamera, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. It's been a little while. So
It
it's good to see you again.
I know. It's great to have you back on the show, and you always have so many great tips for us, too.
Oh, thank you.
And as summertime is approaching and it's getting warmer outside, we're going to be active.
That's right. Warmer weather means we're going to be around water, whether it's lakes or pools or something like that. So one of the observances in May is water safety. So we want to talk a little bit about that. And then also the heat, sun safety, you know, wearing your sunblock and skin protection, but also staying hydrated and making sure if you aren't staying cool or you start feeling bad that you call for some help, because it does get hot in Louisiana.
It does.
It's a little hot out there.
And heat strokes can happen too.
Oh, absolutely. Heat strokes, heat exhaustion, and especially our elderly population, you know, you need to take that really seriously. They get overheated pretty quick, so that's another thing to keep in mind as well.
Absolutely. Well, let's start with the water.
Okay, water safety. So, of course, kids love water. Okay, whether it's pools, lakes, ponds, whatever they can, they want to reach over into it, right?
Yes.
So it's very important with in-ground pools to have fences around all four edges, okay? That way there's not easy access, and a lot of people think, oh, well, I've got a cover on my pool, but those covers can actually make it worse, because then the kids, if they fall in, get trapped in the cover as well.
Yeah.
Another thing, if you have the above ground pools, be mindful of not just the ladder being out of the water, but if there's a chair close to the pool, they'll climb on that to try to get in it. So keeping things away that they can't climb on. Another big one, and this one gives me chill bumps, is if you're anywhere where there's a pool, whether you're at a friend's party or at a friend's house and there's a pond, any kind of water around, if a child goes missing, please check the water first, because you don't want to spend time searching the house and the baby's in the water.
Right.
So that one gets me in my feelings, but check the water first.
And a lot of times that happens because there's so much else going on.
Yes, and kids are little Houdinis. They can sneak out the dog door, or if there's a latch they can reach, you just wouldn't believe the kinds of ways they can get out. So just be mindful of that. Another good thing is to have someone designated as your water watcher. So if you are somewhere like that, especially if your kids are not used to being around a pool or something, like I said, lake, pond, pool, whatever, having someone who's not going to be distracted by their phone, whose main focus is, okay, I'm going to keep an eye, whether it's through the window or whatever, on that water and make sure no kids are getting too close or anything like that.
Yeah,
so
that's a good
very
idea.
important. Very important.
Absolutely. And
it
also
can just happen
too,
so quickly.
I know, it really can. And not a lot of water is needed. It can happen in a shallow.
They can drown in a few inches.
Yeah,
absolutely.
or in a step.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's so important to just be really mindful of that. I mean, we don't want to think of the bad things, you know, all the time, but you've got to when it comes to water.
Absolutely. And of course, swimming lessons help as well, too.
That was what I was about to say. Swimming lessons, and just reminded them not to run around the pool, because you don't want them to slip, fall, and hit their head, or no diving in shallow pools that it's got signs up that say don't dive. You know, sometimes when we're having fun, we don't think about those things, but it's very, very important.
Absolutely.
Water safety is so essential.
And now staying with water, too, let's talk about hydration and how important that is.
Hydration. Drinking lots of water when you're outside is very important. Prevention of sunburns is so crucial. You know, it's important to take care of your skin every day. You know, skin cancer is one of our leading cancers. And a lot of people know someone who has had skin cancer before. But the main thing is prevention. It's one of the most preventable forms of cancer. Wearing your sunscreen, SPF 30 or above, that blocks UVA and UVB is very important. And we've all been guilty of putting it on once and forgetting to reapply, but reapplying at least every 2 hours is very important.
Absolutely. Some really great tips there. And if people want to learn some more, what's the best way for them to do that?
Oh, there's so much information out there. You can look on, like, the CDC has a lot of information actually about, you know, sun cancer prevention and things like that. So do the American Cancer Society, because, you know, the Friday before Memorial Day weekend every year is the Don't Fry Day. So it's a big
Yeah.
thing in May that they promote the prevention of sun cancer, and wearing, even another thing people don't think about is chapstick with sunblock in it. It's important to
Yes.
use that as well. If you can't do a lot of sunscreen, long sleeves or the big brimmed hats, so there's a whole lot on the American Cancer Society about it as well. And then, I mean, there's so much literature out there on drowning prevention and water safety for kids as well. But
Absolutely. Well, Tamera, thank you for joining us today and giving us some great reminders of staying safe this summer.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you.
thank you so much for having me.
Of course.